I was starting to be nice to you, and then you do another transition. I hate these. I hate those so much because it doesn't tell a story. It just goes, oh, look at me, I'm editing. So this is a serious thing. It's quite a sad story. It's quite deep. Instead, the music choice that you're doing is this sort of epic music.
The school is 95% of...
I'm in the holy city of Karbala, Iraq, along with the rest of my high school senior class on a spiritual field trip during the winter break. We spent the last few days traveling across the different holy cities during the winter break. During the winter break.
I think if
I'm in the holy city of Karbala, Iraq, along with the rest of my high school senior class on a spiritual
if your senior class are not particularly involved in this video, that could have been potentially cut.
Along with the rest of my high school senior class on a spiritual Karbala, Iraq senior class on a Karbala, Iraq on a spiritual field trip during the winter break. We spent the last few days traveling.
And then I think the music escalates. This is the music that I used on Jimmy's blind video, but we got the licensing permission to use it. Oh no, you did the thing. I hate these. I hate these so much. Can you guys guess what I'm gonna be? Well, I don't know, but right now I'm assuming Ite is asking, how do you know the class are not involved? I just have a feeling that they're not, but if they are, we'll put it back in. But he did the thing. This is why editing YouTube just ruined filmmaking. Watch, he did the thing.
In Iraq, including Samara.
I hate those so much because it doesn't tell a story. It just goes, oh, look at me, I'm editing. It doesn't do anything. And also you didn't do it that well because it's like I'm seeing the residue here. It doesn't do anything. I hate those so much. Like, it doesn't say anything. It's cool. But if that's what you're trying to do, then make a VFX reel. It doesn't say anything. All it does is it's just distracting.
Including Samara and Najaf, and today we'll be visiting one of.
I know, but you shouldn't make videos because they're cool. You need, like, these are telling stories. These are telling people. These are telling perspectives. It's like if it's not contributing towards the idea of the video and you're not contributing towards the story, then it shouldn't be done. That is my big rule in all of these. Casey Neistat believes the same thing. Casey Neistat, intern text. Damn, I don't know where it is. New filmmaker. Text tweet. There we go. This is like a gospel to me. From Casey Neistat. Young filmmaker wanted to help me with videos, and I sent him this note with thoughts on how I approach YouTube filmmaking. General ideology. I don't like filters, color correction, transitions, digital effects, fancy font treatments, or titles. I think they're cheap and easy. Anyone can download and plug in. They're not a demonstration of creativity, but something pre-packaged and emblematic of a more formal, more mainstream-like aesthetic that a lot of younger creators see as aspirational. Aspirational because using easy plugins makes their homemade videos look like what is seen on TV. Use nothing but straight cuts and footage out of the camera. Text is almost always Helvetica, not because I like the look, but because it's default. Expressing creativity using the most basic, accessible methods is the hardest thing to do and the purest. The very best steakhouses serve their filet on a plate with nothing else. The franchise just covers theirs in sauce and other to distract you from the fact that you're eating dog food. So, whenever I see these things, it's just like, this says nothing to me. All this says is that you are more interested in saying that you're a filmmaker rather than actually being one. Anyway, I have that like printed in my mind. It's so important for me to do that. Anyway, moving on.
Ara and Najaf, and today we'll be visiting one of Ara and Najaf.
A bit of an awkward pause there.
And today we'll be visiting one of
And today we'll be doing this. You did the thing, bingo card. Today we'll be doing. Knock that off.
Iraq's many orphanages, providing a safe space for
Man, I would love that. Me and Casey Neistat coming in and doing a roast. Oh my god, that'd be brutal.
those who don't have any adults left to care for them.
Okay. Music choice, inappropriate. For
those who don't have any adults left to care for
any adults left to care for them. So this is a serious thing. These children don't have parents. They don't particularly have any adults. They're not particularly they don't have a father figure. That's quite a sad story. It's quite deep. That's quite tragic. And so you've got to identify those emotions that the story is demanding. And instead, the music choice that you're doing is these sort of epic bassist. I forgot what the instrument is. This sort of epic music, and so it's like that's not appropriately approaching the tone that this story demands. So it's not an appropriate music track. So when I use that music cue on the Blind video, it was because they were on a mission. It was in the sense that once it was then represented appropriately with the tone and the idea, it was we then set up the game. So for me, I use that song as it was in the game of trying to get as many people's blindness cured as quickly as possible in a sort of fun atmosphere. Here, it's just not appropriate.
This school is 95% of
He did it again.
is 95%
It doesn't say anything.
of the orphans.
And also, like, what did you frame this to? It's not like that shot doesn't say anything.
The orphans.
That
And this is a very special schools which is run by the Adbat of Imam Hussein's Haram. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and salawat.
he did it again. Okay.
I got to speak to.
This is one of those. It's so there's so much for me to say that it's hard for me to focus on what to talk about. So let's do this in comparison to Dan Mace with Beast Philanthropy.
Six months.
Epidemic Sound have advanced search filters to help you
Right, I'm on
easily find
premium.
the exact mood.
I'm on premium. Ugh. Okay.
6 months ago, this orphanage in South Africa looked like this. And despite having saved more than 5,000 children's lives over time, it was about to get shut down. When hearing about this, we made it our mission to ensure this doesn't happen by rebuilding 12 new homes with an ongoing supply of fresh food, as well as a brand new playground. This is Mama.
So doesn't the... I think with this, like the tone of it feels so much more appropriate. And now listen to the tone and how Dan makes characterizing the feeling of this orphanage.
This is Mama Rosie, who started the Bapuma Lele orphanage 30 years ago after a baby was abandoned on her doorstep.
Mama Rosie is an absolutely incredible person, but as hard as she's fought, as much as she's given, these kids were about to lose the only family, the only place they've ever known as home.
To ensure this does not happen, we spent the last 6 months working tirelessly so that these kids have a safe and clean environment.
And then he's like bringing in like the wins of it all. But yeah, just the rhythm and pacing that he does is so great. But this feels a lot more appropriate. I think that's the word. That was what I was worried about with this video. And it kind of became that. Like, unfortunately, this video is not appropriate. And I think it's because... And it's a really, really important discipline. You got the Jurassic Park problem. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can have that really cool song from my friend doesn't mean you should. Just because you can add in a wipe transition over a lamppost doesn't mean that you should. I think you need to think about what is the story that this video is trying to tell and how can you tell that appropriately. And I'm not getting that here. I'm getting you experimenting as a filmmaker just so you can say that you're a filmmaker rather than how can I be a storyteller. And I think that's the key difference. As a filmmaker, it's your responsibility to be a storyteller, not say that you're a filmmaker. And so, in a way, you have to be able to, you have to remove yourself from the equation and let the story be the forefront rather than saying that you're a filmmaker. I feel like that's going to be consistent throughout this whole video, but let's keep going.
I got to speak to these beautiful kids, mashallah. Faces full of lights. So they're asking me about where I was from, where the kids are from, and one of the kids made me cry. He's like, hey, when you go to my son, please pray for us.
Oh, and then also, in comparison, that track, you can't just throw it underneath. If you are to be using that track, it also needs to be motivating cuts. Now, let's put that in comparison to Mr. Beast, Blind, the way that I used it with that song.
And this video...
So the cuts, even though it got cut up quite a bit.
You know what? Here's 10,000. She's squeezing hard. And we're just getting started. We still have 980 lives left to change.
There's my watch. I've never seen it before.
Oh my God.
I had night blindness. I couldn't see. That you just deal with it life.
I'm Nolan, by the way.
I'm Carl.
You're Carl? I know a guy named Carl. Not a good guy.
Moment of truth.
Wow, you are pretty anxious.
What's it like? What do you see?
Blur.
How long have you not been able to work for?
4 months.
Did you hear about the cross-eyed teacher? She couldn't control her pupils.
I'm gonna need anesthetic soon.
Oh man, no cloudiness, no blurriness.
Oh, it's perfect.
So you get the idea in the sense that the music was motivating the cuts. And with yours, like the music's kind of put underneath, but it's not. I think with Dan, this is an interesting debate then. Why is Dan's use of mixed media editing not mentioned as too much fluff, but the frame transitions are unacceptable? Well, I think with the things that Dan's doing, no one else is doing. And those sort of wipe transitions from lampposts, everyone can do with iMovie. And then I think, and the representation of those paper things had a bit of a motivation where it's like, let's look at it again in terms of the visualization. Like they transitioned from the
6 months ago.
They transitioned from the motion graphics back to reality. So it was asking permission to. So watch how it transitions.
Abandoned on her doorstep.
Mama Rosie is an absolutely incredible...
I'll go from here.
By rebuilding...
So look. So the motion graphics motivated in.
To ensure this doesn't happen. By rebuilding...
So it motivated in. So because it took over the background, then took over Jimmy, transitioned as a visual cue into the motion graphics.
Building 12 new homes with an ongoing supply of fresh food, as well as a brand new
And then using
playground.
and then transitioned back into reality.
This is Mama, as well as a brand new playground. This is
So it transitioned back into it, and so it was motivated. There is a motivation, a creative motivation behind the effect. Whereas a lamppost transition isn't a motivation. The motivation is, hey, look, I spent 10 minutes doing this mask. Look how great I am. Yeah. It's just motivation, Brandon. Those wipe transitions don't motivate. The reason behind it is not clear enough in it contributing towards the story. And so being able to differentiate and understand that. And then for me, it is just so cheesy. It's overdone. I'm tired of it. With that though, I think we are beginning to run out of time, and I know I got a call in about 5-10 minutes. And so with this, I feel like I'm going to end up going in circles. So let me see if I can get through the rest of this video.
McDonald, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, music's just not appropriate.
At the orphanage right now, we're going to be playing soccer.
We know you are.
Time. They look like pretty good.
Who's winning? Our friends are winning, brother.
I got no money on this. No money. It's all, I bet $1,000 on that.
With the green team competing against the yellow team, we were ready to begin the soccer game.
Ready to begin the soccer game, but you just told me 10 seconds earlier that the orphans are winning. So again, chronological is a bit weird. That was an interesting cut there, I like that. Maybe some sort of scorecard could have been good there.
The goal they made, that was a legit goal. I wasn't letting that through. But before that, I wasn't taking them seriously. That's like
Overall, the match was disappointing from our end, but really good on their end. We didn't do that good. But it's about
So the game was 1-1. Okay.
the respect. It's about the sportsmanship.
Yeah. It's just, again, the music's not categorizing them well enough. But again, like I used to do the same thing when I was a developing filmmaker. You find a song that you really like, but then you don't think of it you don't consider how much it should match.
After taking some group pictures, we handed out candies before visiting the inside of the orphanage.
By the way, I can tell that you re-recorded that, but I accept it. I can tell that you re-recorded this.
We handed out candies before visiting the inside of the orphanage.
You didn't know what? It's sort of motivated back in, but it's still just... And I hate this thing so much.
Population of only 30.
That was kind of nice without diegetic sound, and all we hear is a non-diegetic. That sometimes are quite nice. So actually, I think you stumbled upon a night. That was the strongest moment there. By the way, is what I'm trying to say. The shots are not great, but I'm not a cinematographer or DOP, and so I don't know how to make those shots better. So, but yeah.
30 million, 1.5 million orphan children. Hundreds of thousands of children, they left out with no structure.
All of this is interesting. What he's been saying here. I would put all of this at the front.
That's why one of the key services now.
Because what we're doing now is we got to characterize them a little bit more, and the Beast team does this very, very well. You have to tell again similar thing as the Dunning-Kruger thing again. The Dunning-Kruger, like everything's Dunning-Kruger. Okay, so orphanage, already pretty a low thing. You as a storyteller gonna bring them down even more, right down there. And then you then have to showcase what are you doing just to help make their day just a little bit better. Like, you're not like changing their lives, but how can you make their day just a little bit better? And there's your narrative. Essentially, you're going to throw them down, which is a horrible way of putting it. so you can then build them back up. And so him saying in terms of structure, that's a really fascinating statistic. The population of only 35 to 40 million.
30 million, 1.5 million orphan children.
And 1.5 million are orphan children. That is a huge thing. And so you spending a day with at this orphanage just to help make their day just a little bit better, that is now a huge thing. If you could just help just a few.
They left out with no structure. That's why one of the key...
He did it again.
That's why...
I was starting to be nice to you and then you do another transition.
One of the key services in Iraq is orphanage.
There we go, people hugging, I like that. So, this is a variation of that one song. And this one actually kind of suits it a little bit better.
What we didn't realize is that during the soccer game, the girls were having a balagha party in the other campus. With Maulana Abadi invited, we headed up to check it out.
Yeah, all of this came in halved. I think you got tied up to the song again. Hold on, let me just refresh this. You got tied up to the song again. You cut the song. Yeah, the music's just far better here. Yeah, but you should have halved this song because you got tied up to it.
To visit, and we came up. We had, a little celebration. They had a cake and everything.
We know.
Yeah.
To help orphans around the world. Thank you for watching.
Why did you do a dramatic boom at the end there? Donate to orphans around the world. Boom. And if you don't, something horrible will happen. It's like that was the implication I just got with that. I think a piano note would have been better. Good suggestion, Arlo. Yeah, a bad tone out.